In this video, I'm going to do a quick unboxing and give my audiophile impressions of the sound quality of the brand new AirPods Pro 3, 3rd generation, brand new. Just picked them up today. Today is September 19th. And one thing I want to point out about this is, unlike a lot of videos that came out prior to September 19th, a lot of the reviews of the iPhone, the AirPods, was most likely a free copy sent to influencers. Now, if you're new to Recording Now, we purchase every single product we review on a mission to create the largest database of wireless headphone and earbud reviews, including head-to-head comparisons and overall rankings to help you make a more informed purchase. So, as you can see here from the spread on the table, we actually have about a dozen wireless earbuds, and it's actually coincidental that the AirPods Pro 3 was just released because we were about to dive deep into reviewing each and every single one of these earbuds. Here we have the Sony XM5, the XM4, we have the very excellent Technics AZ100, Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra, Bowers & Wilkins PI8, Cambridge Audio M100, Samsung Galaxy Buds, and more. Okay, so prior to this, we've reviewed over 30 wireless noise-canceling headphones on the website and on the YouTube channel. So we're at a place where we are ready to give an honest impression of the AirPods Pro 3. In terms of sound, we're going to focus mostly on the sound for this video. Other channels can read a tech spec sheet. And just to show you, $249. It was a little over $260 when you add in the tax. I had to wait an hour in line just like a plebeian, even with pre-ordering the day it came out. But anyways, that is the lengths that we're willing to go to give you the most honest reviews. All right, so let's just open up the back. We got these two tabs right here. Shake it out, and voila, designed by Apple in California, of course. And we have here the plastic, so we're just gonna take this out. Oops. Wow, okay. I mean, I don't want to rip it. I want to keep it intact. Or maybe we just have to rip it. Oh, there we go. Nice and easy. Okay, cool. Does it come with anything? I don't believe it does have any cable or anything, but we do have the ear tips. So ear tips, a very, very important tip here is that you need to make sure you find the right size ear tip with any of these earbuds. It's definitely one of the biggest points about earbuds versus over-ear headphones that are one size fits all. All right, cool. So as you can see, we have more tips here than I believe the AirPods Pro 2, which I believe had one less set of tips. We have extra, extra small, small, and large. So medium is probably already default. All right, so let's get rid of all this packaging. Now we have the AirPods Pro 3 back to back with the Pro 2. And we also have the 4 with the active noise canceling. Now, looking at this, it looks slightly larger than the Pro 2. It doesn't have that LED. Maybe it's hidden. So if we just open this up, okay, cool. So it is a hidden LED. By the way, I have not watched any videos about these, so I'm just going in blind to this review. We have the USB-C on the bottom as well. And it looks like we're missing the button here. I'm not sure if they use maybe some kind of touch for these instead. We have the loop to put in your lanyard or whatever. So opening these up next to the AirPods Pro 2, they look fairly identical to start, but I know they redesigned these for a better fit based on the Apple keynote. I mean, if we look at these, they look fairly identical, although the angle of things is different, as you can see. So if I put them just side by side, it looks like these have a little bit more of almost like a 45-degree angle from the earbud inside the ear canal. Maybe that creates a better fit. All right, well, that about does it for the unboxing portion of this. I don't want to take too much time. I want to spend more time talking about that sound quality, which is supposed to be much improved. So I'm really excited. Let me pop these in and I'll come back with my first impressions. All right, so I've just spent the last few hours listening to the AirPods Pro 3 and also listening back to back with the previous 2nd generation AirPods Pro and the AirPods Max and the AirPods 4 A and C. And I actually forgot that we actually have the AirPods 3 regular. Actually, this is the 4 A and C, and this is the 3 regular. So let me just give you my raw, honest first impressions, mostly in terms of the sound quality from an audiophile perspective and in the context of having listened and reviewed all of these earbuds. So my first impression is very strong and honestly pretty positive. So I was already a big fan of the AirPods Pro 2, but namely for its natural tuning. So with the AirPods Pro 2, I think this is an earbud that perhaps is a little bit hardware limited in terms of the quality of the drivers compared to something like the Technics AZ100 or the Bowers & Wilkins PI8. But when it comes to the tuning, this natural representation, and it also has this liveliness, this is an earbud that I think is a very strong overall product from a convenience, form factor standpoint. Now, one thing I want to say is the form and the fit of the 3 is improved over the Pro 2. So on my Pro 2, I actually have memory foam ear tips here, and for me, the stock ear tips were not bad on the Pro 2, but they could be improved. So I went to Amazon. I purchased an aftermarket pair that I will link in the description below. I highly do recommend these silicone memory foam ear tips. They're awesome, and they really improved the fit and the seal. For me, they made them more secure and overall just improve them as a product. I'm happy to say that I do not believe that the Pro 3, at least right now, needs memory foam ear tips or aftermarket ear tips as much. For me, I was able to get a pretty perfect fit and seal quite easily just using the included ear tips here, and now they have 5 sizes to choose from. For me, I actually went down from the default medium to a small. Use the ear tip fit test inside of the app if you're on iOS, and you're actually able to check if you have a good seal or not. That is a very important tip for any wireless earbud that I have learned reviewing so many different pairs. Now, going back to the Pro 3. So what jumped out to me, very interestingly, is a very similar sound profile and perhaps even sound quality to the Apple AirPods Max. So when we're talking about the sound profile specifically, to me, the AirPods Pro 3 is even more consumer friendly, focusing mainly on the bass, followed by pushing that treble detail and then having recessed mids, similar to the AirPods Max, although probably not as balanced as the AirPods Max in my opinion, and definitely not as balanced as the AirPods Pro 2, which has a little bit better balance between the bass, mids, and treble. For me, the mids are very recessed on the Pro 3, and the way that this manifests in the music is that I think these excel greatly for pop, hip hop, and modern genres, including EDM, due to having a really good sub bass. I have to give credit to the bass. It's impactful, it's full, the sub bass response is good, and it reaches lower than the AirPods Pro 2. It definitely gets down to those lower frequencies much better, and it's tighter and more focused overall when it comes to the bass. So that's definitely a strong suit of these headphones, and I think it goes hand in hand that the marketing says the noise canceling is twice as good as the previous Pro 2. In my brief testing, I do notice the improved noise canceling performance. I don't know if it's twice as good, but it's definitely improved. I don't know if it's as good as the AirPods Max, but it starts to get up there. So the bass is good, and then it also pushes forward a lot of treble detail. Now, the good news about the resolution that I think was lacking on the Pro 2. For me, the way I describe the Pro 2 is that it is a very great earbud to listen to. It's very enjoyable for music listening because it's very lively and energetic, and at times natural in terms of the soundstage and the presentation. But the resolution and the clarity and those micro details weren't quite there. They did sound a little bit compressed, a little bit 720p. For me, I think the Pro 3 goes up to like a 1080p, the AirPods Max a 1080p, perhaps even a 1440p compared to the Pro 3. But what jumped out to me at first is that the Pro 3 is almost like if you were to shrink down the AirPods Max, which is actually the heaviest active noise canceling wireless headphone that we've tested to date. If you were to shrink down the AirPods Max and put it into this form factor, I think that's a pretty decent summary of the Pro 3, which I actually think is very impressive considering how tiny these earbuds are. Now, that said, if there's one thing that I have learned reviewing a dozen of the best, most popular wireless earbuds, there is better sound quality wireless earbuds that do exist and that are older than the AirPods Pro 3. Now, when it comes to noise canceling, I also do think that there are still earbuds that are just as good, if not slightly better than the AirPods Pro 3 for noise canceling. Namely, these would be something like the Sony XM5 earbuds, which are excellent for noise canceling. The Sony XM4, which is also excellent for noise canceling, although not as good for sound quality, not on this level if you ask me. So to speak a little bit more about the sound quality on the Pro 3. Higher resolution than the Pro 2. Like I said, 1080p versus 720p. I'm just hearing more detail that I was craving and I was asking for on the Pro 2. The soundstage is average. It's nothing exceptional. The AirPods Max has better spacing and separation and layering. And honestly, there's just a little more clarity overall with the AirPods Max still. But again, not only is this the form factor that is a fraction of the size of the AirPods Max, but these are also $250 brand new AirPods Max, anywhere from $480 to $549 full retail price, okay? Now, to get just a little bit more audiophile, the dynamics are improved over the AirPods Pro 2, but they could still use improvement. So where I find the weakness in the Pro 3 when it comes to music listening is going to be in the genres that are more mid-range focused, like your rock, metal, and country, where you have a lot of actual real instruments as opposed to just digital electronic music. So these start to lose a little clarity when the tracks get busier with more layers, more instruments, more vocals. And honestly, for me, the one nitpick is that the timbre is just not that realistic. We have instruments like guitars and drums. They sound a little bit thinner and tinnier sounding at times. One way that I know that the treble is really being pushed forward is that the hi-hats jump out in an unnatural way. So because the mids are recessed, I don't find these to be very flattering for male vocals across the board. They lack that body and tend to sound a little bit thinner but detailed. These are more flattering for female vocals. Again, this is lending itself more towards those pop genres as opposed to rock and metal. So I simply just didn't find those genres to be the most engaging. There was something a little bit flatter, a little bit duller about listening to rock and metal through these. It just didn't quite scratch the itch for me. Now, somewhere in the middle, classical and jazz is decent. Again, not the best timbre when it comes to these acoustic instruments. For example, cello sounds thin and kind of scooped out. Piano is decent, a bit on the brighter side. But that's not to say that I can't enjoy those genres using the AirPods Pro 3. All right, so that is my raw first impressions. I plan to make longer videos, definitely a full review. If you've seen reviews on the channel, we give scores for each category, and I'm just gonna need to spend more time to give it proper scores and give it a fair shake. And for my next video, I'm planning to do a comparison between all of the current family of AirPods specifically and whether you should upgrade or which one should you choose depending on your needs. I think it's very, very interesting because my feeling right now is that I'm actually really impressed with the AirPods Pro 3. We have significantly improved noise canceling performance. We have better sound quality on an already pretty decent, enjoyable sounding AirPods Pro 2, but it's a little bit of that 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I do think that the tuning was better on the AirPods Pro 2, and I actually walk away a little bit more impressed with both the AirPod Pro 2 and the AirPods Max, surprisingly, because one, the AirPods Max, like the Lightning Edition, is 5 years old now, and it still sounds really good. And then we have the older AirPods Pro 2, which actually still holds its own. So if you're not an audiophile, honestly, if you want to save some money, I think that in my next comparison video, the Pro 2 is going to be getting some love from me. But just to summarize, I think that the AirPods Pro 3 is definitely a step forward that is much needed, and it is definitely welcomed. It's taking a product that was already pretty good as an overall product when you consider its convenience and just the fact if you're in the Apple ecosystem, then it doesn't get more convenient and hassle-free than an AirPods product. But for those who are a little more discerning when it comes to their sound quality, you know, there's so many attractive options in the market today, not just for earbuds, but also for wireless noise canceling headphones like the XM6 and the 30 plus pairs we've reviewed thus far. So in my full review, I'm definitely going to be making more head-to-head comparisons against the competition from the other brands outside of Apple and the AirPods lineup. So definitely subscribe, hit the notification bell because those videos will be on the way very, very soon. But yeah, that is my honest first impression. Overall, it's positive. This is a step forward. If you want the best AirPods that they've released to date, then look no further than the AirPods Pro 3. It's a great, convenient product that has a great form factor. They fit better than ever. They have better noise canceling than ever. The sound quality is improved more than ever. Honestly, I think that they kind of shrunk down the AirPods Max into an AirPods form factor, and that in itself is pretty impressive. So let me know what you think if you get your hands on a pair of the Pro 3, or if you have some of the older generations and you're wondering, hey, is it worth it to upgrade? Leave your comments, your questions below. I'm definitely going to address the comparison amongst all of these in my next video. If you want to check out the rest of our reviews, head-to-head comparisons, and overall rankings, make sure you check out recordingnow.com. Link will be in the description below. If you want to support the channel, again, we buy every single product we review, and the only way we're able to do this is with your support. So if you want to use the affiliate links in the video description or in the pinned comment below, it goes a long way to help us continue this mission and keep our reviews 100% unbiased and transparent. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and let us know below. And if you want to keep watching, I'm going to link a relevant video and playlist here so you can keep watching next.